Thanks. Fans, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, basketball fans of all ages in the Summit City, anywhere in the United States, anywhere on our wonderful planet Earth, welcome inside the Summit. We're here on the south side of town in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as we get ready for what really is a local matchup between two upstart groups, upstart squads that if you're watching with us, you're going to become more and more familiar with. And we're thrilled you're streaming with us here at Summit City Sports. For our videographer extraordinaire, Joe, I'm Andrew Wiss, on the call all night long as we get ready for Elevation Prep Basketball, a prep school. This is their post-grad squad that we're getting ready to watch, coached by Michael Stanley. Currently, Elevation Prep, their post-grad group, is 12-4 on the season, and they are COVID-free, injury-free, knock on wood, basketball fans as they get ready to lace it up against IU Royalty. They are led by Coach Tyon Little. This is a semi-pro group, and they're part of the OBA, the official basketball association. The OBA, fans, if you're unfamiliar with it, 56 teams in 18 states. Semi-pro group giving young men a chance to continue their basketball careers, and got a chance to talk to Coach Tyon Little. This is actually their first game, and so excited to get out here and play together, learn each other as they go, and really get ready for a full season of basketball upcoming. And naturally, the two teams are going to switch sides and warm up on the correct ends. But this OBA group, again, called IU Royalty, a lot of local players, faces, names you might be familiar with. And, again, their first contest, technically an exhibition game for this semi-pro group as they get ready to play Elevation Prep. Their season does start on February 20th, does IU Royalty and Coach Tyon Little. And, obviously, they're getting ready to play Elevation Prep. Two squads for Elevation Prep in their first inaugural season under Coach, again, Michael Stanley, also Coach Cody Henson. Coach Cody Henson coaches the high school group. This post-grad group, again, 12-4 on the season. They've had 8 local contests, have traveled as far as Cleveland for tournaments, and actually, the Summit here off of Rudisill is where we're located. We are going to be the hosts of the National Prep Tournament. And so going to be hosted here at Taylor University. A lot of games. That's going to be at the end of March. So March Madness kind of continues here locally. The whole state really getting a big dose of March Madness as the state of Indiana is going to be hosting all of those March Madness contests. And five different locales across the state of Indiana. So pretty exciting for our basketball state. But also going to host the National Prep Tournament here at the Summit, again on the south side of Fort Wayne, just off of Rudisill Parkview Summit campus. For local fans, the old Taylor University is where we are located. And again, I got a chance to talk to Coach Michael Stanley before the game. We're getting ready to tip it here as the officials go over some small clarifications. But got a chance to talk to Coach Stanley of Elevation Prep. And he said, look, the key is just tonight to play our style. We're really competing against ourselves and still just building towards that national tournament. And that national tournament is something that's not a guarantee. So that has to be earned. And that all comes from details of coaching, meaning strength of schedule, overall record, who did you beat during the season. And so this being an exhibition game for really both squads, Just another chance for Elevation Prep players to get better as a group, play their style. And again, they do want to get after it. They want to play hard, and they emphasize the 50-50 balls, winning those extra possessions throughout the contest tonight. That said, we do have a roster for the Elevation Prep squad. We'll be giving you names and numbers all game long. Do not have a roster for IU Royalty. We will do our best. We got some last names on the backs of some of these jerseys, so we'll try to get you those names as we see them. And fans, we're a couple minutes here away from tip. We'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsors here at SummitCitySports.com.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Fans, again, welcome back to the Summit here off of Rudisill in Fort Wayne as we get ready for an exhibition contest between Elevation Prep, again 12-4 on their season, is this post-grad group under Coach Michael Stanley. Elevation Prep, again, a local squad based here in Fort Wayne with players from all around the country. We got players from Georgia, New York, here at local players, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Michigan. Also have a Peru, Indiana player on this post-grad group for Coach Stanley. And an exhibition game against IU Royalty. You see them warming up in the white with red trim. And while we do not have a roster for IU Royalty, we will nonetheless be bringing you the live action as we go. 2 20-minute halves here for this exhibition. There should be shot clock in play. I believe a 30-second shot clock for this contest is in effect. And this was intended to be a 7:30 start. I believe right now we might be waiting on our final officials. And I tell you what, while we wait, a little uncertainty on the start time here. We got 7:37 p.m. right now, but we'll pause it where we are. Be right back here from the Summit with Exhibition Basketball, Elevation Prep Basketball, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
about the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location with people that know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Fans, again, welcome back to the Summit as we get ready for an exhibition contest here. Again, the Parkview Summit located here on the south side of Fort Wayne, just off of Rudisill, the old Taylor University Gymnasium. And just a heads up, the scoreboard is out tonight, inoperable, and so they will be, the scores table got their work cut out. They will be tracking the score, which may be to your benefit. Obviously, we'll track it where we are, but you may be able to see that score as they update it. Going to be an interesting challenge for them also as they keep time. We'll try to keep our own time for you as well as we keep you updated. Again, 2 20-minute stop clock halves. And Elevation Prep just went down to the locker room to discuss some final pregame thoughts. Again, about 13 minutes behind schedule here as this was intended to be a 7:30 p.m. tip. And while we wait for, I believe, a final official to show up here at the Summit, we will pause it where we are. We, Summit City Sports, and we'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsors.
We have to do this. A bit of a hill.
His mother said, if you're coming to school, you got to bring your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his 1-year-old sister everywhere.
A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's Meals can reach everywhere that there's a hungry child.
Do you see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walking clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express Walk-In Clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcast. When the Homestead Girls Golf Team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Keep it 100.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
You think? And again, fans, welcome to the Summit as we continue to watch Elevation Prep and the OBA semi-pro team, IU Royalty, warm up. I think both teams would much rather be playing, but I believe I have not received official word from any coaches, any administrators here in the gymnasium on the reason for the pause. But I believe waiting on a second extra official to get the game started. And so while we got a chance, let me again just express my deep looking forward to excitement of what will be March Madness. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, March Madness was stolen from us last season, as many things were, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, as schools, society in general went to lockdown, sports canceled. Obviously the players, coaches, everybody involved with those programs affected. But as a fan of college basketball, we were all obviously very, very negatively affected. It is arguably the greatest 4 days of the calendar year, that first weekend of the big dance. And this year, all the more excitement. Number one, we were without last year, denied the greatness that is March Madness. And it returns. And then obviously, with the recent announcements, the entire tournament will be played in a somewhat of a bubble inside the state of Indiana. Obviously, lose, you go home, but teams are going to want to stay in that Indiana bubble as long as they can. Obviously, during the week, you have to assume they're going to be allowed to return to practices, life, school, etc. But all games will be played in Indianapolis, Bloomington, West Lafayette. There was some hope, rumors of potential games here in Fort Wayne, the Coliseum, maybe here at Taylor. But games will be limited in fans, but the games will go on all inside the state of Indiana, the basketball mecca that is Indiana. And then also a heads up, the National Prep Tournament will also be held here locally at the Summit. Again, Elevation Prep right now 12-4 on the season, and they are competing in their regular season to earn a bid to that national tournament. That is not a we accept all comers. You have to earn it based on strength of schedule, win-loss record, who did you beat, and so on to earn that invitation to the National Prep Tournament. But this post-grad group, again coached by Michael Stanley, 12-4 on the season, and an exhibition contest we at least planned on streaming with you. Right now there's a lot of standing around. I see an official jersey being waved. Somebody may be stepping into the role. We shall see. But again, we'll pause it here where we are. Hopefully be right back to you with live action here at the Summit in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
And again, fans, welcome to the Summit as there is hope on the horizon. I saw a referee jersey being shaken, perhaps donned by somebody in the building. The music pumped up a little bit. Dare I say, pump up the jam a little bit. And so hope that this game will begin. We do have one official taking the jacket off, bringing hope to millions across the planet, and those streaming with us from Mars, that this game might happen tonight. Again, what is a Tuesday night without basketball in January? Nothing, I tell you, nothing. There's nothing to stream. Jeopardy's over. Oh, and there is a second official jersey. I think he's got a whistle. I think he was in the back stretching his calves, maybe his hamstrings, and perhaps ready to rock. Are we here at the Summit? Again, videographer extraordinaire Joe on the camera. He'll be panning left to right all game long. Andrew Wiss here on the call. And we heard a whistle. Teams are gathered. The hope has turned into certainty, dare I say. Knock on wood. As we get ready for an exhibition contest between the host school, Elevation Prep. This is the host playing site for Elevation Prep, the prep team in their inaugural season. This is their post-grad squad. Again, currently 12-4 on the season under Coach Michael Stanley. An exhibition contest against IU Royalty, the group in white led by head coach Tyon Little, and also their inaugural season. IU Royalty has played multiple games. This, though, is as they get ready for their second season. They are part of the OBA, the Official Basketball Association. That's a 56-team semi-pro league in 18 states. And so their first game of this season. And so we are ready to play here. Again, the shot clock, 30-second shot clock in effect. They do have a clock located on each end. Joe will try to show that to you. So 2 20-minute halves. Clock will stop on all whistles. And now that we have officials, we will be able to hear whistles in the gymnasium here at the Summit. And, Coach, send your team out here. We've given you an extra half hour. I think they're ready. And, again, we did get a roster for both groups. And so if we can get you some names out there, we will. For Elevation Prep, number 13, Braden Pearson. Number 4, jumping. We will get you his name when we can. For IU Royalty, we got number 41, Ed Pinkston. Number 1, Cam Mitchell. Number 5, Trell Jones. Number 0, Tavon Green. And I believe number 2, Joseph Gary on the far side. We'll double check that number when we see it. And we are off. Elevation Prep controls the tip. That is number 0, Isaiah Brown. He's out of Peoria, Illinois. That shot rejected at the rim by Ed Pinkston. We're going to head the other way. Here's Cam Mitchell, who again finished his high school career at Southside. Very familiar with this gymnasium is Cam Mitchell. And after that block on the push, this is number 11, Lamar Whiting. And Elevation Prep will set it up. Again, this is their post-grad group. Concordia High School grad Braden Pearson. A local product, 3 local products here on this Elevation Prep team tonight. And the first, I think that might have been tipped as well, comes up short, and Gary with the rebound. Mitchell going to run the point for IU Royalty. On the bounce, gets the ball screen. It's a clear out on the left side. The lefty takes it in. No help there. And then quickly the other way as IU Royalty scores the first 2 points of the contest. A whistle on the attack, and heading to the line is number 4. We apologize, we do not have his name for the Hawks. Hawks, the logo of Elevation Prep. And connecting on that, free throw. No box out of the shooter, gets his own rebound, goes window, and Gary another rebound. Mitchell on the bounce. Again, they gave him a ball screen on the left side, clear out. A little 2-man game between Mitchell and Gary last time. This is Ed Pinkston looking for the bounce. Tavon Green, loose ball, dives on it. You like the hustle. Whistles blow, we'll jump it up. Elevation Prep did control the tip, and so it's going to stay here with Royalty. 18:36 remaining, 9 on the shot clock. Again, 30-second shot clock. College shot clock rules in effect for this exhibition contest. Here's a ball screen for Mitchell. Not sure if he's aware. Gary is aware, and count it. Had to shoot it, did shoot it, count the bucket. Mitchell the assist, Gary the corner 3. Again, as you stare at the court, the white three-point line is the official three-point line. Wide open underneath is Isaiah Brown, his first bucket of the contest. Nice find there from Pearson, and a little full-court pressure. Green takes a bounce, shares it with Mitchell, 26-footer. He's got that kind of range, does Mitchell, but short on that attempt. With it now, this is number 11, Lamar Whiting. Lost it for a second. Well, you like the hustle of Tavon Green. And as he tried to gather, I think they're going to say he connected with one of his Nikes. And so kickball violation. Here's Pearson. Little shake, shimmy, pull up. Gary is a rebounding machine underneath for Royalty. And stepping into that 23-footer short and rebounded, that's number 10, Trayvon Gifford. He's a Mayfield, New York athlete. And there's a pass to the far side, hitting the 3, give Elevation their first lead of the game. A little 2-2-1 three-quarter court pressure from the Hawks. They'll throw it over the top and attack it as they do. Tavon Green, a 6-footer. Boy, toughest shot in the game. Don't tell that to Tavon Green. Lefty-to-lefty connection. And now Elevation will attack. Spin, move, contact. And I think they're going to say that was on the ground underneath out of bounds here for the Hawks. First substitution of the game checking in is number 5, Malcolm Kane. He will replace Isaiah Brown for the Hawks. Also checking in for Royalty, number 33, local product James Gardner. Played his high school basketball at New Haven High School. Slipping that screen, deflected out of bounds, almost caught him on the lip. And we're going to have to get his name. He has made us say his name quite a few times already. We're going to have to get number 4's name for the Hawks. Little cross screen action. And a little too much contact on the far sideline, and so the Hawks, number 10, Trevon Gifford, will inbound. 7-6 here, just under 17 minutes remaining. As a skip pass here, releases it, and Gary, that's probably his 4th rebound of the game. Gardner going to push it. Good transition defense there by the Hawks, and so here's some more ball screen action for Royalty. Mitchell, boy, slippery. You can tell already they like to clear out that left block for Mitchell. Really has just grown as a scorer, an offensive scorer. Just so good out there with the ball in his hands. Throughout his high school career, just continued to grow. His skill set grew. And that's going to be deflected out of bounds, so stay here with IU Royalty. This is Tavon Green. 3 guards around. They'll skip it. 2 on the shot clock. I don't think Green's aware. And that is an adjustment for all players. Tavon Green, a Northrop High School graduate. Graduated 2015, did Mr. Green, number 0 for IU Royalty. And there they are, fans. I've found my favorite shoes of the night. We're going to give a shout-out to the pink ones of Cam Mitchell for IU Royalty. They call him the Pink Panther. I have no idea if they call him that. But they could, based on those shoes. Looked like he spilled Pepto-Bismol all over his Nikes. I'm not sure if his Nikes were feeling a little under the weather. So he poured the Bismol on him. But now he attacks right. Well, I think that hit the backboard and then blocked, but no call. And then on the loose ball, we got a whistle. I think they're going to say underneath. Couple of substitutions, number 3. Checking in for Royalty, that's Aubrey Griggs. And also in, I believe, number 4 on the far side. He's going to be number 4 with it, Will Eskridge. We'll get you that name and number verified. Mitchell driving. Again, puts a ton of pressure on the defense. Great body control. And again, they're going to say that foul was on the deck, so another underneath out of bounds. And not alert was Elevation Prep, so a quick bucket for IU Royalty. Here's Pearson, 17-foot smooth pull-up for Braden Pearson. And again, that 2-2-1 three-quarter court pressure for the Hawks. This is right where they want that trap. Lost his dribble, did Gardner. But that press, I believe, could have been a little more connected as they had the trap where they wanted it. Just unable to create any sort of deflection turnover. On the bounce, hand in his face, short on that. And that's number 30 with it. That's Jason Holliness on the bounce there for IU Royalty. Here's Gardner. Again, local product. Played his high school basketball for Coach Bruce Stevens at New Haven. Holliness driving, and then a reach in there called. That's going to be called on number 10, Trevon Gifford, and a couple subs in. But not before the timeout. Our first break here at the Summit. We'll be right back with more Elevation Prep basketball brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Welcome back to live action after that timeout called there by IU Royalty. Cam Mitchell on the bounce, just checked in and defending Holliness tightly. A little more communication. You could tell the Elevation Prep focus in that huddle was communication, effort, energy. Maybe lacking, deflected there by Tanoa Ridley, another local high school product. Played his high school basketball career at Northrop. Was a part of that excellent Northrop squad last year. He's wearing number 2 for Elevation Prep. Also on the deck, just caught that before he landed. Skipped it out to the wide open. And I mean wide open, Malcolm Kane. Give Kane the bucket. Give Ridley the assist. And I believe that score is correct in front of you. Count those 2 more for Cam Mitchell. We got 13-11 here. IU Royalty, again, an OBA semi-pro group. Up 2 in this exhibition contest. Here's on the bounce, driving, got hit, couldn't get it to go. That was number 1, DeAndre Brown. He's an Atlanta, Georgia native. And he'll step to the line for 2 free throws. You saw the Hawks get a little weave action going out on the perimeter. And DeAndre Brown able to put it on the deck quickly and attack the 10. And checking in to Noah Ridley might have got hit in the ear. He had just checked into the game. Now he's checking out. And subbing in for him is, they got it listed as number 23, Tobias Patton. However, that young man looks awful familiar. And so we'll call him Washington. I believe he finished his high school basketball at New Haven as well. Making the first, missing the second was Brown. And so Elevation cuts the lead 2-1. This is number 4 on the bounce for IU Royalty, Will Eskridge. Cam Mitchell with 12 on the shot clock. Hesitation in the corner. There's a post entry. Blake Williams able to create some space in the basket area and easily laid those 2 points in. Two bounce attack, had to go high off the window, went a little too high. And the official has shown up. Legendary Fort Wayne official Crane Hearn in the house. And he blew the whistle as number 24. Attacked the 10 there. This is Uriah Powers out of Knoxville, Tennessee, shooting 2 free throws, misses the first. And there's Tanoa Ridley checking it back into the game. Pearson And Kane will get a breather, as also checking in for the Hawks is Whiting. Again, this is the post-grad group for Elevation Prep. They have a high school team and a postgraduate group. This is that postgraduate group in the National Prep League, if you will, as Powers misses both of those. And man-to-man defense here for the Hawks. Gardner will attack it. Tough angle, and Powers going to rebound and push on his own. And there is the reason for the bounce pass, as Powers pressured there, tried to share it, shoveled it instead of bounced it, and it was stolen away by the hustling Gardner, just out there playing hard. Deflected it, and so his buddy, number 4, going to step to the line, Will Eskridge. And a little lane violation, count the second free throw for Eskridge. And up, looking to share it underneath. This is the big fella Washington. He and Gardner were high school teammates last year. Inside, outside, couldn't get it to go, and I think they're going to say over the top on Isaiah Brown, who just checked back in for the Hawks, his first foul. And Gardner going to be on the bounce as they attack this now 1-2-1-1 three-quarter core. That bounce pass stolen by Washington. We're going to call him Washington. Ridley wide open. That was right on line, just short, and rebounded by the Royalty. Hesitation, pull up 3. Washington again on the rebound. He'll push it himself. Tough floater, couldn't get it to go, but gets his own rebound. Here's Ridley, shares it. Stepping into that 3 was Brown, short, and shots, perimeter shots, not falling right now for the Hawks. Ridley, so long, so quick, and sneaky, was a all-area, all-state recognized defensive back at Northrop High School, and just a thief on the basketball court. And then that 3 falls. He had just missed one from that spot. Corey Green, able to find the range. They called Joe, our videographer, a second swing golfer. Maybe Corey Green, is a second 3-ball shooter. And then matching him on the other end was number 1, DeAndre Brown, able to get that 3 to go right in front of the IU Royalty bench. And Coach Tyon Little letting his team know, hand down, man down, wants his defensive pressure to pick it up. We'll be right back here from Summit City Sports. Thank you. Welcome back to the Summit as a timeout there, I believe, after the made three by the Hawks. Timeout there, first of the game, I believe, for Elevation Prep. For the IU Royalty. And on the bounce there, they're going to say Eskridge took an extra step. And so we're under 10 minutes now here in the first half. IU Royalty has led the entire game. Attacking is Washington. Tried to find and did find Brown, Ridley, and there's Gardner again, his second theft of the game. Couldn't get it to go, and Ridley the rebound. Just hit a three, going to share this, and boy, had that back foot on the ground as he attacked. Didn't pick it up soon enough. Did Washington. And I'm just getting ready to say IU Royalty has handled this press well. Gardner almost lost it there, and then again, I spoke too soon as the turnover happened on the back end. Doesn't really matter where it happens, it still happened, and so finally the Hawks getting what they wanted out of that full court pressure. That's number 11, Lamar Whiting on the bounce. Washington again catching it, creating and finding. That time finding Isaiah Brown. Boy, Washington left his feet, something you tend to tell players to try to avoid, but found Brown there at the last moment, and then Brown, count the bucket plus the harm. Got a chance at 3 points the hard way. Converts it. This is the first lead of the game for Elevation Prep. Cam Mitchell on the bounce. He shares it with Eskridge. Pivots, patience. You like that against pressure. Mitchell pulls. Silky smooth. Might be some tired legs out there. Again, we're now under 9 minutes here in the first half. On the bounce. That's Whiting. Back of the rim. Couldn't get it to go. Brown battling, and they're going to say number 44, Blake Williams, for IU Royalty, was the last to touch it. Substitution in here for Royalty is number 3. Aubrey Griggs checks in. And they'll inbound it up high. Here's Brown on the bounce. Just hit a bucket plus a free throw. Shares that one right on line, but again short. Driving, sliding his feet though, there was Washington. And you like how they got a basket touch, paint touch. Here's an inside-outside. Shooters like it. Gardner, though, could not get it to go. And then a rebounding loose ball foul called as Lamar Whiting was trying to box out Williams. And I believe that puts the Hawks over the limit. So Williams will be your shooter. 1 and the bonus. 8:15 remaining here in the first half. Again, we're at the Summit here off of Rudisill on the south side of Fort Wayne, home of Elevation Prep. Both their post-grad team and high school team. And misses that one, does Williams. Brown the rebound. Attacking in transition. You like the aggressiveness of DeAndre Brown, again the Atlanta high school product. And the biggest lead of the game for the Hawks. 3 points. Cam Mitchell again. Boy, these two lefties both wearing number 1. Both speedy. And that time Mitchell draws a foul. Mitchell converts on the first. Again, played his high school basketball. Just graduated, I believe, last year from Southside High School. A stone's throw, if you have a really good arm, away here from the Summit. Up fake, post entry. You like the patience there. Ridley attacking, couldn't get it to go. Great possession, and Ridley, we called him a thief. And as he was falling out of bounds here, tried to save that one a little too long for Washington. Inbound here on the floor for the Royalty. Tavon Green, Cam Mitchell with it on the bounce. Griggs, this is Williams setting the ball screen, and then clearing out is number 5, Trell Jones, giving Mitchell room to operate, floating through the air, finishing with the offhand. So nice. We're going to show it twice. Watch it as they space it, clear it, and they like to clear that left block for Mitchell. Hesitation. Gets right around Washington, and then looking like the Statue of Liberty there, bringing freedom to the immigrants coming off of the Atlantic Ocean. Cam Mitchell. He's not made of copper. He's made of basketball talent. We'll be right back here at the Summit with Summit City Sports. Welcome back to the Summit after a driving lay-in by Cam Mitchell to knot things up. We believe this score is accurate, 22 apiece. The official scoreboards here at the Summit not in operation tonight, but forcing a timeout there from Elevation Prep coach Michael Stanley, and then on the post entry, we're going to stay here. Players were headed the other end, but keep it here. Defensive foul on the post entry pass, and so an inbound here. Lamar Whiting. I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and step to the line to shoot some free throws as both teams now in the bonus with 7:15 remaining here in the first half of play. That one rolls off the front of the rim, and here comes Royalty on the bounce. Mitchell, and they're going to say he got underneath of it with his right hand before the pass. Carrying violation. And I think the emphasis here trying to get it to Isaiah Brown. In the basket area, this is DeAndre Brown with it. DeAndre from Atlanta, Georgia. Isaiah from Peoria, Illinois. And as he regained possession, they're going to say number 4. And again, we do not have his name. We apologize. That might be DJ Fuller. We have not called his name. But a double dribble violation called. Deflection and a steal. We're calling Fuller. Steal by Fuller. Brown, lefty, corner 3 long. And coming back for that rebound was Trell Jones. Here comes Mitchell. 3-on-1. Tavon Green, nice up fake. And couldn't finish it. Batted around. There's your inside. There's your outside. Cam Mitchell filling it up here in the first half. Give them unofficially 13 here in the half. Isaiah Brown, and they're going to say he cleared out room illegally as Tavon Green takes the charge and momentum. Boy, they really led the majority of this first half, and then as soon as Elevation Prep took that lead, you kind of said, okay, maybe now the Hawks are going to start to turn it on. But credit this semi-pro squad, the IU Royalty, momentum now on their side. Here's Cam Mitchell on the bounce, reads the switch, attacks it, lost it, and that time the Hawks defended it well. Pearson under control, avoided the charge, and they're going to say last touch here by the Royalty. Keep it here with the Hawks. And again, I think Cam Mitchell got the switch he wanted. You see that in the NBA all the time. They'll set that ball screen simply to get the defender they want out on the ball as Tavon Green pokes it away. Heads the other way and lays it in. The lanky lefty, Tavon Green with the bucket, giving the steal and the bucket. Here's Pearson shaking. I think he got hit, and he did. Late whistle, no, it doesn't matter. It was the correct whistle. Came in, and so Pearson will step to the line for 2. Mass substitution. Looks like a line change coming for the Hawks. And notice the couple of rule changes. Only 3 defenders allowed in the lane on free throws. But again, go back to that Cam Mitchell ball screen. I think he got the switch he wanted, and I think had maybe the team himself been a little more patient, he could have got maybe a clear out and been able to attack that defensive switch of the Hawks. And I wouldn't be surprised for the rest of this first half, at least 5.5 minutes remaining, if we continue to see those ball screens for Mitchell. The Hawks had a tough time staying in front of him. Here's Jones, gives it to Green. Griggs, the flick. Check that. That is Aubrey Griggs. Give him all 3 of those. Hand in his face. It doesn't matter, and his teammates loving it over there. Pearson, little clear out for him, came right down Main Street. Thought about stopping at the art museum. Instead, took it all the way in. We're talking to Henry's. I believe Henry's is on Main Street. Took it in for the land plus the harm. I think they're going to get Mitchell for that foul. Something the Royalty coaches might want to keep an eye on. You do not want to get number 1 in foul trouble. Deflected and stolen. Here come the Hawks. On the bounce. Good read. Good pull up. Boy, everything but the net on that. Coaches teach you to stop at that elbow. And Mitchell, joy, so good at extending with that offhand. Reached out, got that underneath the defender. Pearson, 18-footer, smooth. This might be the game within the game as Pearson and Mitchell going back and forth. Here's Holliness, skips it to Jones. Cross, almost stolen. Here's Tavon Green, he'll skip it back to Holliness. Thought about the 25-footer. Put it on the deck, lost his footing, and he might have turned an ankle. Players helping him up. I think he's going to be okay. He might have to come out of this one. A little scary there. I think he grabbed at his knee as he fell. Nonetheless, an inbound, and Pearson, boy, give him a screen, give him a clear out, and let the man go. He's feeling it right now. Hesitation, goes right, got all the way there. I think he might have lost it on the way up. Wide open 3, short, and Gardner the extra possession. Mitchell short. And a lack of rebounding by the Hawks. Third shot of that possession, and finishing it was number 21, Corey Green. Green had a look, Mitchell had a look, and then look what I found. Green gets the lay-in. Here's Powers, flick of the wrist, nice find there by Ridley, and a much-needed triple for the Hawks. And I tell you what, I like the pressure if the pressure keeps it out of the hands of Mitchell. Gardner, here's Green. Great look, great shot for Corey Green. Back-to-back triples. Pace now picking up, shots falling. I spoke too soon, but nobody boxed out Powers. He's got 5 points in 2 possessions. And a timeout here with 3:06. The action picking up here at the Summit. And we'll be right back here after a brief break from our sponsors here at SummitCitySports.com.
About the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location with people that know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by
fans. Welcome back to the Summit. I'm going to share a couple replays with you from the first acts of action. Watch it. They'd love to give Cam Mitchell these ball screens, does IU Royalty, and really allow him to create, make decisions as he did that time for the shooter in the corner, Joseph Gary, who hit that triple. And as we get ready to resume play, 3:06 remaining here in the first half. IU Royalty, again, a semi-pro team playing in the OBA. Up 4. They've been up the majority of this first half. Have really handled the Hawks full court press well, as they do there. Got all the way to the rim. Did Trell Jones, just unable to finish it. There's a cut by Powers. Shares it with the cutting Pearson. Here's Ridley with it. Another cutter, and some nice offensive action. Finishing that one was Trevon Gifford. And you like the movement without the ball that time from the Hawks offense. Here's Griggs. Eskridge back into the game for IU Royalty. They'll set it up. 17 on the shot clock. Six and driving, drawing a whistle. And again, at that 6, 7, 8 second mark on the shot clock, you either want some backside screening action. A lot of times you'll see ball screen action, try to get a switch, potential shot or penetration. But that time, give Gardner credit. Put it on the deck trying to create. A lot of times you draw a whistle, and he's going to step to the line. Shooting 2 is number 33, James Gardner. Back of the rim and down on the first. Gets one of 2 and rebounded that time by the just checked in number 22, Sean Phillips. Here's Pearson. Shares it with Powers. He'll get a ball screen. Jumped hard by Jones. Here's a post entry to Phillips. Skips it. Powers, 26-footer. Short, as you might expect on a 26-footer. Corey Green drew the extra defender, and then a soft off of the window finish. I believe that score is correct. Ridley, boy, I was about to say found Gifford with the nice assist, but blocked was Gifford on the attempt. And another carry violation called on Mitchell. So a turnover with 1:13 remaining in the first half. Powers, this is Pearson with it on the bounce. Drives, help was there, took it the other way. Count the bucket plus the harm. What a finish by Pearson. He was simply determined as he took it left, brought it back to the right. And we're going to go ahead and call that. Yes, Joe Hacker, our videographer extraordinaire, just gave me the thumbs up. Our first half gem of the night, that Pearson and one finish for the Hawks, brings his team within 2. And here's Aubrey Griggs. He's hit 1-3 from that exact same spot as Phillips deflects that out of bounds. .51 on the game clock, 30 on the shot clock, but there was no real change of position. I think they're going to take it back to 18 on the shot clock, and I think that's what the officials are talking about. And 30-second timeout going to be called here. And why break? Why show you more ads when the real excitement is already here in the Summit? And Braden Pearson is really, from about the middle of the first half on, picked up his scoring, and none better than these 2 points. Watch him take it left. Here comes the help. Behind the back right. Get to the rim. Take the bump. Put it up softly. Kind of like the Fugees and Lauryn Hill. Braden Pearson killing them softly. Made the free throw to boot and drew the Hawks within 2. And so with 51 seconds here, this is a little bit of that professional semi-pro strategy that we expect to see from IU Royalty, a semi-pro group, again playing in the OBA. But shot clock in effect here, 51 seconds in the game, 18 seconds on the shot clock. And so obviously if you are IU Realty, you want to get 2 possessions and try to go score, stop, score, take some momentum into the locker room for halftime. And according to Joe Hacker, halftime is 10 minutes. That is very unofficial. But we expect it to be 10 minutes in length. Inbound here, Gardner to Mitchell. Guarded by Ridley. They're going to run Griggs. They're going to clear it out. Step back, post entry, and great help side there as Powers came in to take away the pass. Hawks now with a chance to take the lead. Couldn't get it to go. Ridley with the rebound, shared it, and as Gifford went up, boy, Ridley's got great vision. And I think some of his teammates are realizing when he gets it, cut, make yourself available, show your hands. He will find you, and so Gifford going to have a chance here at 2 free throws, chance to tie things up for the Hawks. Knocks down the first. And again, so much momentum in how you close out quarters, how you close out halves here. The Hawks, shot clock really not in effect, 31 on the game clock. Obviously, the shot clock is 30 seconds. And we are tied at 40 apiece. The Hawks staying with that full court pressure. Haven't had a ton of success out of it here in the first half. And I wouldn't be surprised. Here's that ball screen, 11 seconds. Mitchell flicks it. Maybe a little too early, but Gardner, the offensive rebound, blocked by the Hawks, and that's your buzzer. Not very loud, but it is a buzzer, and we will go into halftime just like we started the game, tied, although now we're tied at 40. Fans, we'll break it here. Yes, it is a 10-minute halftime. We'll break it here where we are, show you some highlights when we get back, talk about what we expect to see in the second half here from the Summit, the home of Elevation Prep Basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
We have to do this. A bit of a hill.
His mother said, if you're coming to school, you got to bring your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his 1-year-old sister everywhere.
A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's meals can reach everywhere that there's a hungry child.
Do you see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walk-in clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead Girls Golf Team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Keep it 100. Thank you.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
Fans, welcome back as you stare at the halftime score between the semi-pro IU Royalty, a member of the OBA, and really led the majority of that first half, did the Royalty, as Elevation Prep. This, again, is their postgraduate squad. Both of these clubs, we'll call them, have two teams. Elevation Prep, a high school team that will be hosting the national tournament here in March. And then IU Royalty also has an unlimited team that plays in the OBA as well. And again, just giving young men in the Fort Wayne area, but also in the greater, basketball world, chances to continue their playing careers, continue to stay in shape, but also compete on a national level, continue to be coached and grow their skills. And that's what the OBA sort of membership goal is. You've seen the growth of semi-pro teams. The Fort Wayne Flight, a local semi-pro team, plays in the UBA. And again, this IU Royalty team in the OBA. But again, they led the majority of that first half. Shot it well, handled the press of the Hawks extremely well. No real turnovers for touchdowns. And at the end there, you saw Pearson with the play of the game. We'll show you that highlight, but watch this one. Again, they love to give Cam Mitchell number 1 on the bounce with ball screens. He gets the switch here and read it so well. Pulled the defender out, used his quickness to get by on the baseline, and then a nifty, that word might make me sound old, but a nifty finish by the athletic guard Cameron Mitchell. And then here, going inside, excuse me, sir, I'm scoring here, says number 44, the big fella for IU Royalty, Blake Williams. And then again earlier, watching Mitchell on the bounce. Again, does a good job playmaking, scoring, creating scoring opportunities for himself. This time for the teammate. We saw him early in the game. Number 2, Joseph Gary, a rebounding machine. Did not play much after about that 5-6 minute mark in the first half. And again, your play of the game really helped bring the Elevation Prep back into it. Tied things up at 40 was this one by Braden Pearson. Going to attack left, read the help, behind the back, one bounce. Kiss it off of the window, got it to go, plus the harm on the lay-in. And so we're about 8 seconds away here from second half action as they clear the court. And we get ready for the second 20 minutes of basketball here at the Summit. Again, just off of Roosevelt on the south side of the Summit City. A little bit of a late start to this one as we were waiting on officials. But we are ready to go. And again, we believe that score is correct in front of you. The scoreboard not working, and so using our due diligence, we've been doing our best to keep score. They are going to put it up as they have a scoreboard now at the scores table. And they're going to put up 40 for Elevation, and it looks like 40 for IU Royalty. So I did take calculus when I was at Indiana University in Bloomington, and despite the heavy Polish accent of my calc professor, I did pass the class and quickly realized I did not want a career in mathematics. One of the greatest decisions I've ever made in my life was not going into mathematics. Not that I ever considered it, and it looks like we're ready on the floor for Elevation Prep. Number 0, Isaiah Brown. Number 4, we're going to call him DJ Fuller. That is unofficial. He is not on our roster. Braden Pearson, number 13. Number 10, Trevin Gifford. And number 1, I believe, check that, I believe that's number 11, Lamar Whiting. Yes, it is. For IU Royalty in white with it, Cam Mitchell. Number 5, Trell Jones. This is James Gardner with it. He'll share it with Mitchell. Also back on the floor, Tavon Green letting that corner three fly short, rebounded by Brown, and number 44, Blake Williams. Here's Gifford. Whiting on the bounce, 20 on the shot clock, a little 1-4 high. They're going to clear out the right side, bring Pearson over. And Trell Jones defending Whiting a little too tightly, whistle blows. Now in this league on the reset, the clock does reset at 30. So in college on that foul, a lot of times the shot clock will reset at 20. Here's Pearson trying to pick up right where he left off. That was halfway down. And Mitchell going to gather on the bounce. So comfortable with it in his hands out there is number 1 for IU Royalty. He'll share it here with James Gardner. Ball reversal. This is Trell Jones. Ball screen. Tough 24-footer. And that outlet pass, boy, not enough on it. And Jones didn't sulk, got back defensively and got the steal. Here's Tavon Green, and IU Royalty will reset. Ball screen, Williams, Mitchell. Stepped into that, got his feet ready. Boy, you like the setup, just didn't like the results. Here's Pearson, got a trailer middle, spins, and Brown couldn't get to go. They're going to say he touched the last. We'll head the other way. Boy, 3-on-2, you want to be able to convert those. And I thought Pearson might pull that defender to his right and then kind of share it with his teammate trailing the middle. But couldn't get that lay-in to go. Mitchell. Threes short here in the second half. And Whiting on the bounce. Whiting driving. It'd be interesting to see if they was on the shot or before. And they're going to say it was on the shot as Whiting. Again, he's a guard from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So going from Three Rivers to Three Rivers. Pittsburgh to Fort Wayne. A little difference in size of those rivers, although I am not frowning upon the St. Joe, St. Mary's, or Maumee. Shout out to all Three Rivers. Shout out to the Fort Wayne efforts at improving the riverfronts here. We know that Joe Hacker, our videographer extraordinaire, is an avid kayaker and loves getting out there on the rivers, obviously not in the winter. Hitting one of those was Whiting, and a lead for Elevation Prep to Noah Ridley, along with a line change. Antoine Washington back in, as is Powers. Number 5, Malcolm Kane, and number 22, Sean Phillips, as Powers gets that rebound. Here comes Kane. Powers. Ridley cut middle. Boy, I think they missed him. And here's Washington. Again, he and Gardner on IU Royalty played high school basketball together at New Haven under Coach Bruce Stevens, who's got a fantastic group again this year. And before that shot could be released, that shot clock buzzer sounded. Boy, a half second too late was Kane on the shot attempt. Mitchell, and they're going to say he carried it. Well, he's been called for that 3 times, and I think each time it's been with that offhand, the right hand, as he's tended to get underneath that a little bit. Ridley with it. These two know each other well. 1-4 high. Ridley will hand it, get it right back. Gardner read that well. High Lexile on defense, but hustling Powers deflected that steal, that pass from Gardner. And official timeout here. I believe it's going to remain Elevation Prep basketball, but wanting to have a conversation, I believe, with the IU Royalty head coach, Coach Tyon Little. And so a pause in the action. Reminder, this is an exhibition contest between these two groups. IU Royalty and OBA semi-pro team. And again, the OBA is a semi-pro league with 56 teams in 18 states. And Elevation Prep, this is their post-grad group coached by Michael Stanley. Kane with it on the bounce as play resumes. Just under 17 minutes here. Here's Kane. Saw a lane, took it. Boy, tried to take it all the way to the other side. But drew a whistle nonetheless, and so he'll step to the line for 2 free throws. And all points here in the second half, we're 3 minutes in, have come from the free throw line. And all for Elevation Prep. Biggest lead of the game for the Hawks. Again, Elevation Prep in black. IU Royalty in white with the red decor. And an interesting decor, to say the least, for IU Royalty. Gardner attacking there. They're going to say the whistle was on the floor. Foul was on the floor. So Gardner will inbound. Try to at least. Somehow that got to Tavon Green. And Ridley, his 4th steal of the game, attacks it against Mitchell. Couldn't finish, but Mitchell going to be called for the foul as Ridley attacked the rim. Boy, it looked like Mitchell was falling away from the attacking Ridley, but contact nonetheless. And the foul, we're going to have to check the scores table. I don't know how many fouls that is on number 1, Cam Mitchell. Ridley converts on the first. And 5 of 6 free throws in the second half as Mitchell quickly, as Ridley got hit by a ball screen, and I mean hit, as James Gardner set the screen. Nobody told Tanoa Ridley about it. And quickly, Cam Mitchell scored it the other way. And another official timeout here. As they pause for an issue at the scores table. So under 17 minutes now, and Elevation Prep after that lay-in by Cam Mitchell. Again, we said quickly, I think he got rim to rim in 3 bounces, did Mitchell. And so Kane will bring it up for the Hawks. Again, 1-4 high look. They'll give it to Ridley. There's the handoff, turns into a ball screen. Kane takes it middle. Forced a closeout, did Powers, and a great look there for the Hawks. We really didn't see a lot of offensive X's and O execution in the first half. That shot blocked, looked clean, but a whistle blew, and Cam Mitchell, again, using his quickness, very aggressive with the ball in his hands. Just laid it in on the previous possession. Going to step to the line for 2 free throws now. Misses the second, and Kane the rebound. He'll push on the far sideline. Shares it with Washington. And good transition defense there by IU Royalty. That shot short. Almost kept alive by Ridley. I believe he had a heel on the end line. Checking back in for Royalty is Corey Green. Hit a couple triples in the first half, did Green, as well as Aubrey Griggs, who's got the ball in his hands right now. Here's Gardner, defended by Ridley. Switched out onto by former high school teammate Washington. And then as Blake Williams, posted hard, he was fouled by Ridley, so went underneath out of bounds for Royalty. .16 seconds on the shot clock. 15:47, just under the 16-minute mark here in the second half. Corner three long, and Powers with the rebound. He'll push. He's got numbers. And attacking. Took the hit on the head. Concentration galore by Tanoa Ridley as he took that one bounce. Boy, so athletic is number 2 for Elevation Prep. Bucket plus the harm. And both of these teams can really get out and go. Powers, another steal. 3-on-2, defender trailing. Powers, good decision. Skipped it with Ridley. And that 15-footer, boy, Phillips. I don't know if it looked good on the release, but it doesn't matter how it looks as long as it goes in. Give Ridley the block on this end. And then rebounded there by Phillips. Kane pushing. Doesn't have numbers, but my goodness, what a finish by Malcolm Kane. You'd think his teammates would be jumping out of the gym after that type of finish. Ooh, the sauce provided by Malcolm Kane. Can't make the free throw. A couple of and one opportunities missed. Ridley, though, you like the sauce from Kane. How about the sauce? I believe it was barbecue. Hot barbecue from Tanoa Ridley. My goodness. We get a chance, and we actually do have a chance right now. We're going to show you that again. Watch this finish from Tanoa Ridley. Up and then the under. Whew. Might want to get some ice water after that kind of sauce. Our cameraman Joe loving it. Some sparse fans in attendance here at the Summit off of Rudisill for this exhibition contest. And making both free throws. That was Blake Williams. Here's Kane. Powers, quick flick. Couldn't get it to go, but hanging. And somehow tapping that in with Tanoa Ridley. He's got 6 quick points. Does number 2, and that rebound for Elevation Prep. And then, a little Fred Flintstone on the takeoff as before he put it on the deck. The Nikes were moving. IU Royalty coach going to call a timeout. We'll pause it here while they break there. Be right back here with more second half action from the Summit.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
And fans, welcome back to live action. If you're just joining us, this was an IU Royalty really dominated first half. They led the majority of the first 20 minutes. Tied at 40 at halftime was this contest, and then layups and of the acrobatic variety here in the second half. Some transition basketball like we see here, really led by number 2 Tanoa Ridley. But some very acrobatic finishes and free throws from Elevation Prep have given them their biggest lead of the game, 10, which is where we sit right now with 14:08 remaining. A carry violation, I believe, called. I thought they called a foul on the bump, but I believe it was a carry as the ball was given right to Royalty. Deflected out of bounds. Boy, tough to tell. They're going to say stay here with IU Royalty. Inbound, Mitchell, this is Corey Green with it. Griggs now on the bounce. He'll get a ball screen. That's Ed Pinkston, who's got this is now Williams with it. 12 on the shot clock. Here's Pinkston. Clear out in the middle, goes against Kane. Nice defense, avoided the foul. And then Williams cleaning up his teammate's miss. And that's exactly what IU Royalty needed, attacking at the basket, trying to draw whistles, get close shots. Everybody shoots it better from 3 feet than they do from 24. Washington driving, tried to share it, did get it to Phillips. Excuse me, that was Kane who shared it with Phillips. And on the rim attack, Phillips was hit, and so he'll step to the line for 2 more free throws. Again, the Hawks have done their damage here in the second half from the free throw line and the basket area. Following one of those 5 postulates of basketball, the team that gets it to the basket area the most wins the game. That's just one of those postulates you accept without necessary proof. It's just truth. Postulate. I believe postulate is a mathematical term used to describe a truth that does not need proving. Again, Williams. Call him the janitor. Cleaning up messes for IU Royalty here. And then before Washington could share that with his teammate, they're going to call him for steps. Phillips will take a breather as checking back in is DeAndre. Check that. Yes, DeAndre Brown for the Hawks. Holliness, Mitchell, and Griggs. Holliness the rebound. You like how he didn't dribble. Kept it high, rebounded it with 2 hands, took it back up, keep the game simple. Also check back in for IU Royalty is Joseph Gary, number 2. Washington attacking, looking, sharing. Ridley, Brown, Powers. Got a great look, couldn't get it to go. And here comes Royalty. Stolen by Kane. And a 3-on-1. Brown will finish on the other end. Give Kane the steal and the assist on that play. And that was a big defensive stop there as you kind of saw Royalty driving there. Could have cut the lead to 4. Instead, it was a steal, went to 8. And a big defensive stop there for the Hawks as Kane will get a breather and Isaiah Brown checks back in for the Hawks. Ridley guarding Mitchell. Mitchell going to get a ball screen. Mitchell going to get another ball screen, now guarded by Powers. Here's Gary. He hit a 3 in the first half. Hits a 3 in this one. Was given all sorts of space and then tickled the nylon. Approaching now 11 minutes here in the second half. 5-point Prep lead. There's Brown, the flick. And Brown, not related, as Hollandness, boy, he might have got hit again. We saw him walk off in the first half after an awkward fall. And so Isaiah Brown on the rebound putback attempt, fouled, shooting 2. Brown converts the second. Here comes Mitchell. Probably the two quickest players on the floor guarding each other, Ridley and then Mitchell. And Mitchell able to get around Washington. And if I'm IU Royalty, I'm not going away from that ball screen between Gary and Mitchell until they stop it. Right now they're switching it, are the Hawks. And then Mitchell using his speed to kind of get where he wants offensively. Brown did a nice job there of drawing the whistle on the post move. 10:45 remaining here in the second half. Again, this is an exhibition contest between OBA League member IU Royalty, a semi-pro group located here in Fort Wayne, and your Elevation Prep host team for this. This is their home arena, home gymnasium, the Summit, old Taylor building off of Rudersel. Brown rims out the second. And Mitchell on the bounce. I wouldn't be surprised to see a ball screen for Cam Mitchell. There it is. On the switch again. Keep going to the well. Feed the fire that is Cam Mitchell right now. If you are IU Royalty, nice bounce pass from Tanoa Ridley. Boy, moves so quick, but his mind really moves slow, plays within himself. A lot of people who would play at that speed, you'd call him out of control, but Ridley always great body control, great awareness of teammates there. Dropped the only pass that was going to get through the bounce and making the first of 2 free throws. Again, we've been calling number 4 DJ Fuller all night long. We really have no idea of his name. It could be Tobias Patton. We don't know. He's a mystery. Converts both, and a 4-point lead again for the Hawks. And I think if Ridley continues to go over those ball screens, they're going to have a little more success, but 0 help side defense on the baseline as Cam Mitchell got all the way to the rim. Ridley stepped back. And that was, I think, the first time that the Hawks haven't gotten the ball to the basket area in this first half. Giving Mitchell a couple of options here with ball screens, Williams and Gary. Substitution here as number 10 going to check back in Trevin Gifford. Switched out on by Gifford. Boy, tough fade. On the box out, they're going to say Hawkins. Check that. What's his last name? Williams, excuse me. Blake Williams. Hawkins, where'd that come from? With an over-the-top foul. .9:33 remaining here in the second half. The Hawks got up by as much as 10 in this half. And in the last 2.5 minutes, IU Rosa really able to carve into that lead. And so in the double bonus are the Hawks. We'll walk 60 feet the other way. It's Noah Ridley going to step to the line for 2 free throws. And the adjustment by Ridley on the second gives the Hawks a 3-point lead. Gary, who's hit a couple threes, guarded a little more tightly now by Brown. Shares it with Tavon Green. Lefty wing 3, no good on the backside. Boy, he's been cleaning up all half as Blake Williams. And now Powers with the rebound and push. He'll give it to Gifford. Shares it with Ridley. Powers attacks the closeout. And a nice cut there. Boy, just couldn't handle it. Was Gifford. And now on the bounce. Give Cam Mitchell the assist. And Blake Williams, who's just been a workhorse here, sort of the midsection of this second half. And Ridley on the jump stop, well defended by Green. Lost his footing. They're going to say traveled on the jump stop. Whiting checking back in for elevation prep. They're going to give Mitchell 2 more ball screens. He avoids them, waiting. And the underneath official, I believe, called a charge. The top official, I believe, counted the bucket. Little conference. I could be very wrong, but I believe these officials, son and daughter, and I think that's the correct call. She had the better angle, did the bottom official, and a charge violation. Wipe away the bucket by Mitchell. This is DeAndre Brown on the bounce. Little weave action, Whiting. Back to Brown. Here comes that ball screen. Attacks it, got all the way there, deflected out of bounds, and they're going to say stay here with the Hawks. Boy, it was almost all the way there. And before he could get there, deflected there at the end. Shot clock continued to run, though, so let's see what they do here on the reset. I believe it was close to 10. They're going to reset it at 15, so 7:47 remaining in the half. 15 on the shot clock as Gifford catches it. Here's a quick one dribble bounce and reach-in foul going to be called there on Williams. Long on the first. Free throws in the next 7:42 going to play a big role in the outcome of this one. As Mitchell, who continues to get ball screens on this end offensively. And there is that carry violation again. As it goes to his offhand, he tends to get that right hand underneath. And a turnover gives it right back to the Hawks. Here's Gifford. Shares it with Brown. Quick sweep. Couldn't get by Mitchell, though. Tough three. Rebounded, though, by Whiting. Gives the Hawks an extra possession. Here's Whiting. Elbow jump shot, well defended, and a rebound on the backside by Tavon Green. And then a reach-in foul. Boy, what you don't want to do is foul at 85 feet away from the bucket. But Brown called for the foul there, and we'll walk it 62 feet the other way for one and the bonus from Tavon Green. Green short, rebounded almost, well, yes, rebounded by Gifford. And in transition, a lot of contact play on, they say. As a little bit out of control there was number 4. Nice hustle. Boy, players all over the floor. You love the effort. As we're going to say that was Tobias Patton, number 4. Again, we do not have his name on this roster. We apologize. But great hustle from he and James Gardner. As jump ball possession arrow says. I believe possession is IU Royalty, and then a timeout called here by Elevation Prep. Check that timeout here called here by the Royalty. And so we'll pause it where we are. I'll tell you what, we'll stay right here just to show you some of these acrobatic finishes we've seen in the second half. Watch Kane on this one, Malcolm Kane. Tough finish. That was a 1 against 3. Count the bucket plus the harm. If you like that, you're going to love this from Tanoa Ridley. Watch it on the rebound finish. He's going to take it up, and then, whoop, there's the under. You decide what you like better, Kane or Ridley. And fans, I believe I missed it, but a technical foul called as DeAndre Brown shooting 2 free throws with nobody else on the line. We did not see who that technical was called on, which player or coach for IU Royalty, but 2 free throws converted by Brown, and an inbound possession arrow says Elevation Prep. 6:46 remaining. And here's Brown with it. Kept his feet there. I don't know how he didn't travel. And then missed on the bounce pass. Ridley was looking for Brown to cut, couldn't connect. And then Mitchell, give him credit. He avoided the contact, avoided the charge. And then a whistle blew on the bump as Mitchell hit the deck. I think they're going to call that on number 2. Now, I checked that. I believe that was number 1, Brown, trying to take that charge. So Mitchell, the lefty, will step to the line for 2 free throws himself. Converts the first, and we said these were going to be big at about the 7:42 mark. Who can convert from the free throw line down the stretch? Converts both and back to a 2-point Hawks lead. Here's that 1-4 high look again. They like the give and then hand off. Here's the ball screen. Good communication there defensively by the Royalty. Inside, outside. Whiting. Boy, that thing barely snuck over the front of the rim, but give him 3 points. and then give them the steal. Did I speak too soon? I did. They're going to say foul on the Hawks as Whiting almost had that steal. And instead, Williams, who's had an excellent second half, will step to the line for, I believe, one and the bonus. Big rebound by Gary. Williams, like he's been doing all half, cleaning up again. And they're going to say head the other way. Over the top foul against IU Royalty. And I think they're going to call that on Williams, even though he looks like he took the worst of it. Still bent over on this end is Williams. They're going to leave him out there, I believe. And DeAndre Brown, who just hit 2 free throws, sinks another one. Big points being put on the board here from the free throw line for the Hawks. And yes, replacing Williams, number 41, going to check back in. That's Ed Pinkston. We'll see if Williams returns. Took a hit. And taking advantage of the charity stripe are the Hawks here late in the second half. 5.5 remaining. Mitchell navigating. James Gardner caught it ready. Corner three couldn't go. Tavon Green, though, got the offensive rebound and was fouled on the tip-in attempt, so he'll step to the line. And again, game really being decided here at the charity stripe. This is why you practice them. 2 bounces flick for Tavon Green. Missed a second. Here come the Hawks. Ridley, Brown, Gifford. This is Whiting with it. And again, we are calling number 4, Tobias Patton. Here comes Whiting off the ball screen. Switched, and they're going to get Whiting for the carry as the hand came underneath. Little 1-3-1 defensive switch. We haven't seen this all game, but late defensive switch here is Gary. He has hit 3 big triples in the game. None bigger than that one, as that brings his team within 3. That's one way to beat the 1-3-1 press. Half-court defense, I should say, is hitting outside shots all alone. James Gardner, and a 5-point run here for IU Royalty. Whiting going to initiate. Couple of ball screens for Whiting. Little cluster out top, a lot of defensive traffic. Gifford flicks it, hits the back of the rim miss. Mitchell trying to give his team the lead. Couldn't do it, but give Pinkston. That might have been Tavon Green. The offensive board and put back in IU Royalty. Again, they led most of the first half, but have been trailing the majority of this second 20 minutes. There's a post entry. And a foul as Patton took it up. Foul called on Gary, number 2. Probably a smart one, as Patton had got him beating his man on the baseline. 3:44 remaining here in the second half. And Patton knots things up at 73. Washington and Kane going to check back in as Ridley and Gifford get a breather. And Patton hits a couple of big ones. Free throws falling here for the Hawks. Give them credit. They are stepping to the line and converting when they get there. And then Mitchell, before he could finish it, 3-second violation called there as I believe that was Pinkston camped out in the lane. So a turnover. And here come the Hawks. Kane Whiting, here's that ball screen. Top of the key flick from DeAndre Brown. And a big shot. And you got to think Mitchell or Gary right now if you're IU Royalty. Green driving, elevating, hitting the tough floater over the outstretched Hawk defender. Big bucket for IU Royalty. Tavon Green, again a Northrop alum. Brown trying to check the heat. Count all three of them. 6 big points for DeAndre Brown. The last 2 possessions for the Hawks. Mitchell, step back. What a response. Loving the action here late. 2:20 remaining. DeAndre Brown's just hit a couple of triples. Going to try to hit a third. Couldn't do it. And Mitchell, boy, got tipped. Play on. Whiting, Kane, count it, plus the harm. Bucket's not coming easy. And Kane has had a couple impressive finishes here late, or in the second half. Yeah, the substitution as Blake Williams checks back in. He'll replace Pinkston. So 1:56 remaining, a 4-point lead for Elevation Prep. Kane looking to add to that. And Kane converts again. The Hawks taking advantage of the freebies. And defending Mitchell a little too tightly there was Kane. Royalty in the double bonus. Mitchell leading scorer for the Royalty. Bounces it, flicks it. And 1:46 remaining. Big free throw here coming. Substitution in as Corey Green checks back in. He's going to replace Tavon Green. No relation there. Tavon hit a big floater a couple of possessions ago. Mitchell hits both. A 3-point lead for the Hawks. Whiting with it. We've seen the weave. We've seen the 1-4 high. Here's Whiting attacking the middle and then fouled from behind. They're going to get that on Mitchell as Whiting got all the way to the rim. Kind of 5 around none there. And Whiting wisely attacked the opening, which was the basket area. And I believe that's going to be the 6th foul on Mitchell. He fouls out. And so Griggs will check back in. Royalty going to need somebody else to initiate the offense. Look for Gardner to have it in his hands in the next minute 32. Finally, the Hawks miss a free throw. They have, and we don't have statistics, but they have been converting efficiently from the line here in the second half. 4-point lead. That makes it a 2-possession game with 1:30 remaining. Here's Gardner on the bounce. Griggs just checked in. Oh, that was right in line, just long. And so IU Royalty needing a stop here as Whiting crosses, 22 on the shot clock. Looks like Washington's going to give him a ball screen to attack middle. Williams jumps it, looking to trap it. Whiting dribbles out of it, lost it, and we're going to go the other way. There's the stop that IU Royalty needed with 1:01. And now if you go quick enough, you got time to get a score here and a stop. Really don't need to use the timeout if you can score quick enough. Griggs on the bounce. Boy, they really are missing Cam Mitchell now. They get it to him. Play on. Deflected. Blake Williams. Patient. And couldn't get it to go, but a whistle blows. And Patton going to be called for the foul. And again, I think he might have took the worst of that one. Griggs checking on him. Big free throws for IU Royalty, 44 seconds remaining. Gets it to go, used all the rim, but that's why it's there. Couldn't get the second, but Gary deflects it to himself, shares it with Griggs. Griggs finds Corey Green wide open. Corner three, couldn't get it to go. Gary and Patton gets the rebound. And I believe timeout called as Patton was surrounded there. My goodness, they had some great looks. Did IU Royalty there late. Gary kept it alive a couple times. Green had an excellent corner three look right in front of his bench. And then Gary even kept that miss alive. And so when we get back, it'll be Hawk basketball full court. You can guarantee some full court pressure coming from IU Royalty, needing to stop the clock here. And again, these points in the second half have been hard to come by. None harder than this. Watch Malcolm Kane here after the missed dunk. He's going to take it up, get fouled, count it. And before that, it was really a three-point contest between DeAndre Brown and anybody for the Hawks who could hit. And we'll show you some of those highlights if we get a chance here. But a three-point lead here with the ball for the Hawks. They're going to bring all four players here into the backcourt. They're going to run Brown off, get it to Kane. Kane with it, surrounded. He's going to throw it deep. Boy, Brown had to come catch that and did. And he'll dribble it. Wisely kept it alive. Somehow finds Whiting. I don't know how. But count the bucket for Whiting and then a turnover. Kane with the steal. That might be it. Foul here as Gary had to stop the clock, reaches in and fouls Whiting. My goodness, that was not something you practice or by design, but watch the controlled chaos here by the Hawks. Falling down, that's Brown who found Whiting wide open underneath. And Whiting now has a chance to really put this game out of reach. Still right now a two-possession game, 19 seconds remaining in the game. Converts both, and that's really what won it for the Hawks. We're going to assume they're going to leave this gym victorious. Griggs flicks it long, and the Hawks just able to convert when they got to the free throw line. Hit them all second half. I don't know how many times they got there. I bet it was more than 20. And I bet shooting 75, near 80% from the free throw line here in the second half is elevation prep. Quick three, and that'll be your final points of the game. Give them to Corey Green, and what a second half it was. Tight really the whole way through. The Hawks got up by as many as 10. Royalty made it tight and it got entertaining there late in the second half. But that is your final score. The Hawks of Elevation Prep, the host school, victorious 88, and IU Royalty 84. And I tell you what, before we break, let's just go ahead and get into some highlights. It did turn into a 3-point contest. And none better than this stretch here. Watch it as DeAndre Brown going to hit the deep three with a hand in his face. And then watch Royalty quickly come back the other way. Mitchell on the bounce. He's going to step back, use the screen to create some space. He hits a three. And it was back-to-back buckets. And then just prior to that, it was again DeAndre Brown. He kind of got hot there in the second half and got hot from deep. Had 8 points in 3 possessions, 6 of them coming on triples just like that. And really played well in that one. Well-played game by both squads. As, again, this exhibition contest between Elevation Prep, so their 12-4 record coming into this game will remain the same. And an exhibition for this IU Royalty Group semi-pro team in the OBA. Fans, we appreciate you streaming with us here at SummitCitySports.com. For Joe Hacker, our videographer extraordinaire, I'm Andrew Wiss. We'll be back here from the Summit for more Elevation Prep basketball here on SummitCitySports.com.
We have to do this. A bit of a hill.
His mother said, if you're coming to school, you got to bring your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his 1-year-old sister everywhere.
A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's meals can reach everywhere that there's a hungry child.
Did you see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walking clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season or complete games